And yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, we are back live. Okay, we back. Part two. That first broadcast had some issues with the internet, so hopefully we are back on. I'm going to share back to groups again, and we back in it. But we were talking about the Cowboys and the Patriots before we went off, and it's a great game. Mac Jones looks good, but man, Dak Prescott is next up, man. He's next up. He's next up, man. He's uh just watching him. I think about top quarterbacks, and I'm like, at a certain point, you're gonna have to put him up there. I understand, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is this, and Lamar's great, and Aaron Rodgers and Brady and all those guys. Yes, they are very, very good, but so is Dakota Prescott, man. Dak looks good, man.
Yes, indeed, man. Getting the ball downfield, using his legs when he have to use them.
Mm-hmm.
He's got good receivers, man.
Great
And
receivers.
yeah, and it's just I ain't a Cowboys fan, but boy, I tell you what, I've been impressed with them. I was even impressed when they lost to the Bucks, to be honest. Man,
Yes.
they
Yeah.
went toe to
After they
toe with
lost to
them.
the Bucks. Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yes, sir.
and I think it's good for the league. I mean, Dallas been down for so long. I think it's good for the league to get the Cowboys back into the mix again, man. It helps the league. I mean, they are the America's team, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They are America's team.
But I really think
Um,
I agree with you. I think they got a great football team, man. They got a good defense, attacking defense. The offensive line has always been good. And then you look at their receivers. That's what I'm most impressed with. It's those guys, man. So
yeah. Yeah, the receivers are really make it go. Trayvon Diggs, man. I love Trayvon Diggs telling the story and him talk about, oh my God, Lisa Reed is in the building. We talking about her Cowboys. Man, I should have said the Cowboys when we was off camera. We should have talked about it. She talking about that's right, number one in revenue. I need to be number one in wins. But
yeah,
no,
they
and I
getting
was
back, though.
they
Jerry,
getting back. They getting back.
did you see the celebration? Jerry and the family had the group hug.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that. I saw that. Oh
Man, I
yeah.
ain't seen a group hug from Jerry and the folks in about 10 years, man.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been much to hug about, man. It's been something, man. But um defensively, I would say they still got some room to grow, especially on the back end. Dude, that throw to Kendrick Bourne by Mac Jones, that was a lazy throw. A throw that the safety should pick off 10 out of 10 times. He took a bad angle,
Yeah,
you know.
well, that's the only
But
one he'll get beat all year on.
yeah, that's it. That's the only one.
Well,
That's the only. Oh, she said we got room on the bandwagon. Oh, good lord. Man.
oh Lord, we
Don't
going back.
nobody.
We going back to '93.
Right.
We going back
Going,
to the Cowboys that beat the Buffalo Bills, man.
right.
I
Yeah,
do I do
man.
like Lamb though. I like the receivers. Hey, I like Dak. I like the receivers, and I like that linebacker they got from Penn State.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another
Definitely.
thing is they don't have
What up, Chris?
it used to be a Hard Knocks jinx. They ain't showed that Hard Knocks jinx yet.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. To but them, I think they should win the East. They're
Yeah,
going to be a contender in the NFC. I would say this, man. If they see the Bucks again, it's going to be on.
yeah, yeah. They'll take advantage of that weak spot at cornerback on the Bucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lord
Yeah.
bless,
Yeah.
Lord bless the Cowboys. Because Lord knows I got too many friends as Cowboy fans. I never hear the end of it.
Yeah. I got my boss is a Cowboys fan, so
Yeah,
um,
Cowboy fans, they let you know they Cowboy fans, man.
oh my god, he a Cowboy and a Gator, and I'm like, do you have to be both? Can
You
you just
know,
be one?
Cowboy fans still talk about them Super Bowl victories back in the '90s, even though that's been what 20 years ago.
Yeah, Yeah. It's been
Cowboy
20
fans,
years ago.
Cowboy fans can live in North Carolina and South Carolina and Michigan, and they'll just go to Dallas to tour the stadium.
Yeah.
And
Right.
in Jerry's world.
Yeah. Lisa Reed say I'm liking John a little more.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. You see, because you caping for the Cowboy. That's all it is.
Well, I used to
It's the
root for them back when they had Michael Irvin and them because they made things exciting. But Lord have mercy, it's been a long time since they won like that. Emmett.
yeah. It's been a long time. It has been a long time. Last game before we get into the NBA, Bills Titans. That was an amazing
that was a
game.
good game, man.
Yeah, just when I thought the Bills were going to run away with it a little bit, Derrick Henry happens, and and I don't. He gets the hype. I don't know if he gets his due. He's definitely the top back in the league, no question about it. There's no back, especially better numbers. It might be a back you would take over because you like another back style and how he runs, but straight production, there's nobody close to him. Not even close. He has more yards after contact than some teams have for the season.
Well, I throw this out there. I just wished I would see Derrick Henry play back in the 70s. That would have been good. Derrick Henry against Jack Lambert.
Oh man. Yeah, 6'3", 247 pounds, running like the wind, and they're able to do whatever they want to him. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, he would have been bigger than Lyman back then, though.
Yeah, he would have. He would have. He would have been bigger than majority of linebackers. He would have been bigger than every DB, pretty much almost every linebacker. A lot of defensive ends, some offensive linemen. Like that's what it was.
Yeah, see him against Dick Buckets against. I might have to play a Madden and see how that matchup goes, man. But he's an old school player, man, and you know he gonna get the ball. You know you gotta hit him, and you can't hit him. He still get his yardage, man. I like. You know, you're not supposed to like the Titans in Jacksonville, I was told, but I like that physical football, man. I mean, those guys don't talk it, but they walk it, man. They don't say what they're gonna do, but then they go out in the game and then they execute it, man. Yeah, that's the way the Jaguars have been in that 2017 season. They wanted to be a physical team like that, man. But you know, that's the only team they lost to twice was the Titans.
Yeah, because the Titans were more physical. Every single time the Jaguars seem to have something going, and we think we're tough, the Titans come and say, "Hey, you still ain't as tough as us." Toughness is a way of life in Tennessee right now, because no matter what regime they're under, no matter what coach is coaching, they've always had physical teams from top to bottom. It's just what it is. And you're right. I do like that style. That's why when the Titans and the Ravens play, it's must-see TV.
Oh, yeah.
Because we talking about a black and blue affair. That's what it's going to be. Guys are going to get punched in the mouth. It's going to be some flags. It's going to be some late hits, personal foul penalties, you name it. But when talking about physical football, Titans are up there.
But that was like, you know what their identity is, and then you see it come to life on that 4th and goal play, and they stop Josh Allen. The guy just overrun the guy. 98, he just blew him up.
Jeffrey Simmons blew him up.
Yep,
blew him up.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what we found out as well is, yes, the Bills are good. Yes, the Bills are nice. Yes, the Bills are going to beat most teams they come up against. But the Bills aren't as physical as their fans or they themselves thought they were. Because I'm sure they thought that they were physical as well. They're not as physical as the Titans.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, you know, we forgot something, man.
What?
You know, Taven Bryant got he got on the inactive list, man. He got beat out by a rookie. Inactive.
Wow.
Inactive in London.
Why is he still on the team?
And then we asked the coach and say, well, was he a healthy scratch or what happened? Well, he got beat out. He got beat out by Jay Toffoli. And
Wow.
then the guy go break his hand in the warm-ups and don't play.
Wow. Wow.
But just
That's
imagine that the 2018 first round pick. And I'm just gonna say this, we can go move on to our topic. 2018 first round pick. Don't have a contract after this season. And he was a healthy scratch on the inactive list in London. That tells you all you need to know. He may
that's
not
it.
play. He won't play again. If he can't make the active roster, he's gonna be just like Josh Lambo in a couple of weeks. If they can
Yeah.
trade him. Trade deadline is November the 2nd. I guarantee you they're on the phone trying to trade him. You heard that scoop from me.
Yeah.
And they'll take a 7th round pick.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to get something for him. Yeah. And if they're able to get something for him, man, I'm talking about you must have twisted their arm and maybe gave them some handshake deals on the back end.
Yeah, you're right. I don't see it.
I wouldn't give up nothing for him.
Yeah. He probably gonna get cut, but that's just me saying it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't give up a thing for him, man.
That basically the Jaguars said last weekend in London, we've given up. I don't have my white towel, but this will do. We done gave up on this.
Oh
kid.
yeah.
Yep, there's flash the towel.
Wave the flag.
Yeah,
The
wave the
Taven
flag.
Bryan era is over.
It's over. It's over. Just like Lambo, it's over.
Yeah, it's
Sorry
over.
to
It's
see
over.
it, man. But yeah, it is what it is. Another Caldwell draft pick bites the dust.
Right.
Man,
Terrible.
we need to have a whole segment on this GM that done cost this team 10 years of. I mean, he done drove everybody in Jacksonville to drink.
Yeah, for 10 years. Yeah, because he took over in 2013.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna feel it again next year, and we're gonna feel it probably a little bit next year. Still,
Taven
because
Bryan
his bad decision making.
can't make the active list.
Yeah.
Let that marinate.
Yeah, let that marinate in your head, man. That's crazy. But yeah, man, it is what it is. But overall, it was a great weekend of football. Great games from college to pro. Man, I did watch my Roll Tide dismantle Mississippi State, which I knew they would.
Yeah.
The LSU beating Florida, which I was a little shocked about that because I thought Florida would get them. I knew Georgia was the real deal. Already they're talking about using 2 quarterbacks against Georgia when they come here to Jacksonville. I say you could use anybody you want to at quarterback. I don't think it's really gonna matter. I think Georgia should stomp Florida out. I mean, it shouldn't be a competitive game. But freaky things happen when they come to Jacksonville, and I would not be surprised if it's a game late in the game.
I don't know, man. I like the Gators, but Lord, they might lose by 40.
To Georgia.
Yeah. I don't know if they can score against that defense, man.
I don't think so either, man. It's gonna be tough.
I ain't never bragged about Georgia, but he got a team now. If he don't mess it up, look like he got more talent this year than Alabama has to me. But hey, I've seen Georgia coach mess up. I mean, they've been almost on equal terms in talent, and just all of a sudden when they play SEC championship, you get out coached, you get too conservative, he changes up things that they done all year, and they play Alabama, and they either run too much or don't run enough or don't pass. They just get conservative. If he can, if he don't fall on the sword and just let those guys play like they playing free now, I don't think Alabama can beat them. But I've been wrong before, so I don't know. But I tell you what, from what I saw out of Florida, Georgia might score 45, and plus they lost last season against them, so that could be even more motivation. And this, I mean, they might be talking about Florida getting another coach after this whipping. It may not. This might get real ugly.
And now I'm hearing the whispers. Now that that Orgeron is out of LSU, the whispers now is folks in Gainesville are grumbling right now.
Yeah, they should
They're
be.
like, they say, like, yo, look at LSU getting rid of him. Look at what Auburn did with Chiswick. They say you need to cut the cord sooner than later. I was like, man, I didn't realize that because Dan Mullen, what is this? Is this his third year, fourth year?
Like fourth year.
Yeah.
But
Coming off a SEC championship game appearance. I don't know if I settle farm on the Mullen just yet, but the talk is out there already.
oh yeah, well they shouldn't have lost to Florida. I mean, they looked like they were flat. They wasn't ready. It looked like it looked like they was adjusted to playing at 11 a.m. Central more than LSU was. But also LSU, I think the players that already knew that was Ed's final game, so that was a motivating factor. But you look at that Kentucky game. Yeah, I don't think they should have lost that. To be honest, they shouldn't have lost that game, man. I mean, and he's got to make a decision on quarterback. The rumors on the radio that he's too close, with this guy, and he got to bring the kid that he's got in there. You got to use him.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson is.
You got to use him.
Time.
Yep, you got to use him. You can't go with loyalty if loyalty not getting you wins, man.
Yeah.
He's done everything he can for that kid, but it ain't meant to be. He can't lead him into wins,
Yeah. And I understand it. It breaks your heart a little bit too, because you got a kid that's probably done everything you've asked him to do for the last 5 years.
And he's waited. He's waited his turn.
Yeah.
I mean, there was times last season where he put him in, out of, I really like what this kid doing behind the scene. And he put him in games so he can be invested, but it's not working out, man. Florida don't supposed to be 3-3 and all those kind of things. Those what get you fired at Florida. So 3-loss season, 4-loss season, man. That's not Florida football.
No, it's not.
And then you playing this Georgia team. I mean, this might be the best Georgia team since Herschel Walker.
Yeah,
I mean, I do not like Georgia, but I do respect talent when I see it. And I've seen them 2 weeks in a row, and that defense ain't going nowhere. They gonna have a defense that can take you out what you do best. And it ain't. And if it's Alabama, they can do that to Alabama too. If the head coach don't fall on the sword and get all conservative. But I mean, it's amazing to me though. Georgia got talent, man. They went in the war against Florida on recruiting alone. They got talent, man. And it ain't just frontline talent. If you put in a second string receiver, the second string defensive front, that second stringer is better than Florida's starter.
Yeah,
and they got to win that recruiting war, man. You got Florida got to do a better job recruiting, or they're gonna have a hard time over the next few years trying to even compete with Georgia, man. That's just reality. But if you got talent in the state of Florida, you better close the door and make sure it don't get to Georgia, because this guy is doing a hell of a job with recruiting. He ain't the greatest coach, but he's one hell of a recruiter.
What you send a picture of Robin Brooks? Pictures don't show up on here, so you can send emojis and you can just type. But pictures don't show up on the broadcast. I can still see it in the comments though. But yeah, you're right. It's going to be interesting. I will say Alabama meets Georgia in the SEC championship game at the end of the year. It's going to come down to, of course, coaching, like you said, and the quarterbacks. Georgia's quarterback and Bryce Young. And I think Bryce Young is a great young talent, man. He's a kid. He shows maturity beyond his years. And so he will be the X factor in that game, because even though Georgia's defense is great, defensively, Alabama is still very, very good. Will Anderson is a monster. Will Anderson is an absolute monster. So they were going to have to contend with the Alabama defense. So I can see a low-scoring game, and it's going to be who has the ball last and who makes the least amount of mistakes.
But this tight end from Georgia,
Oh man, the freshman.
Yeah, he's big time, man.
Big time.
He might could go to the draft after this season. I mean, I've seen him. He just take the ball in the flat and outrunning cornerbacks. He's that good. He don't play like a freshman.
No, he don't. No. When they said he was a freshman on the broadcast, I was looking. I said, dude, he looked like Gronk. He looked like no freshman out there, man. Dude looks big time.
So Georgia said, well, Georgia got killed by Florida tight end last year. So Georgia went out and got them. Georgia went out and got a tight end, man, and he's a 5-star. He could have went anywhere in the nation. Went to Georgia.
Yeah, he did. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But so I think we done with football for now. We'll get into this NBA before we get out of here and catch the rest of this game. See, I ain't even see who's winning right now.
Yeah, who's winning? Denver winning. I heard it was raining in Denver.
Let's see. Nah, it's 10-0 Browns. Case Keenum doing them like that.
Case Keenum. Well, that's what I said. The Broncos, the most overrated team, but a bad coach.
Oh, Vic Fangio? Yeah.
He's bad, man. It's time to retire. He's just a recycle coach, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's not very good right now.
10-0 with the backup quarterback.
Yeah. So man, we're gonna get into this NBA talk. NBA tip-off the other night, watching Nets against Milwaukee, and I watched the Lakers against Golden State. Golden State looks very good.
But wait a minute, man. Did the next 25 of the top 75 players come out?
You say the next 25 of the top 75.
Yeah, they had the top 50 come out. I didn't see Shaq and I didn't see Kobe. So do we know?
I haven't. Oh, yeah, I didn't. I haven't seen. I haven't even looked at the list. No, I haven't seen it.
Man, they better. I guess they were trying to do something for publicity wise to have both those guys. There's no.
Yeah, Pastor Palmer, what's going on? Cleveland can beat anyone. Dude, they can run it and they can throw it. Yeah, especially when they're healthy. Dude, that Cleveland's one of the most balanced teams in the entire league.
Who, the Cavaliers or the Browns?
No, he's talking about the Browns. Yeah, he's talking about the Browns because we're talking about the Cleveland Browns playing tonight. So, but yeah, they balance, man. That's a balanced team. Nick Chubb is a monster.
Gonna be hard without the quarterback.
No, it's gonna be very hard without Baker Mayfield. Because Baker just had those moments where he'll have a throw and you're like, yo, Baker, what was that? What are you doing? That was high school, Baker.
I would like to see Cleveland win, though, man. When are the receiver coming back?
Oh, Landry, they activated Landry. They already activated. Yeah, so I don't think he's playing tonight, but I think I heard they did activate him. So you'll have Odell, you'll have him, which he better get on the same page with Odell quickly because it was I think it was the Vikings game they played. Dude, he missed Odell a bunch of times.
Yeah, they say Odell on the trade market, man.
Oh, I believe it. He's been on the trade market for like 2 years now. He's only reason he's not going is because he was hurt. Yeah, I believe that. But,
he'll be good in Jacksonville. They need to get him here.
Yeah, he would. Let's see. Pastor Palm say Buffalo can beat anyone also. Yeah, unless they physical. Because Tennessee hit them in the mouth and were very physical with them. But yeah, Buffalo, you get them to the dance, and they're going to be very tough out. You get them to the playoffs. I wouldn't want to see them.
I think Cleveland can make the playoff.
Yeah. I think they can end up making the playoffs, especially they win tonight without Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but yeah.
And
I wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs either.
Yeah, I think Buffalo already done clinched though. Huh? There ain't nobody in the division gonna keep up with them. Not even the Patriots.
Yeah, the Dolphins no good. The Patriots aren't 2-4 right now, and the Jets are the Jets.
Yeah.
So they pretty much got it sold up. What were we talking about? Oh, Nets, Brooklyn Nets, and Milwaukee. Now, the Nets can't stop anybody.
No,
they can't. Yeah, they got a defensive issue. Almost 30 points every quarter. Giannis just had his way with him. Chris Middleton, they had their way with him because they can't stop anybody. That's one thing without having Kyrie Irving is that Kyrie Irving puts you over the top because that's 20 more points. That's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to get night in and night out from Kyrie Irving. Now you need to look at trades. It's time for him to go. It's over with. He's not going to play, so you need to move him out of town. Go get Ben Simmons, who been acting a doggone fool in Philadelphia. Like, did you hear about him getting kicked out of practice and suspended? And then after he left practice, they say he went to the strip club and was spotted at the strip club.
Man, I said this earlier today. For whatever reason, I do like the fact that the 76ers hit back. But at this point, this serves no purpose for either side. As time, whatever you can get for Ben, just get it. And they need to end this and just move on.
Yeah.
Let bygones be bygones, because this is not going to be. I mean, Ben is going to be Ben. He feel he's been outcast. Doc done said a whole lot about him. So this marriage is over. So recover your losses on both sides. Send him where he wants to go, or send him to a team that needs him, and get what you can get for him and move on. You don't, I mean, in reality, I don't know if they need Ben to especially to reach the level they were at last year.
Yeah.
I don't think they need Ben for that. You know, I don't think the 76ers are going to be in the finals anyway. Yeah. But obviously they done moved on. I mean, I watched that game last night. They done moved on from Ben. I mean, they, you know.
Yeah, they moved on. Yeah, the top two teams in the East right now is Nets and Milwaukee. Those are your favorites right now. And Milwaukee looks like they can repeat. They look really, really good.
Yeah, they do. And they didn't have Drew Holiday for a third of that game last night, and they look good. I mean, you know, I like their ball movement. I just like the fact that everybody know their role. You know, you look at the Lakers, you know, to me, it looked like Westbrook. Okay, man, I don't want to do too much and take away from what you and LeBron doing, you and Anthony Davis. So I just think that their team, like, they got to find the role. But on the Milwaukee, it just seemed like everybody, they're on a string. That everybody know what to do. Everybody know their role. Their roles are defined. Their ball movement is good. And then, you know, Giannis is like, man, he's a beast. That block he made, man. Did you see that block he made?
Mm-hmm. And he won dribbling, jacking up shots and hitting them. I say that's a problem. If he's starting to do that, that is an issue. That's a problem, man. How can you stop him? Because you can't stop him from going to the basket. It's impossible.
You can't.
So he starts hitting outside shots consistently. It's a wrap, man.
He worked on his game, something that Ben Simmons didn't do.
I do. How did I know you were going to say that?
I knew you were going to say that. It's true, man.
It's true.
This guy hasn't been in the league this long and still ain't got a jump shot. Then getting pissed off because they said we don't want you no more.
Right.
Send them to the Nets. And I also think the Nets starting to look like the Rockets with Harden. Just my opinion. They just look like it clear out. There's Harden. Clear out. Clear the lane out. Let them drive. They look like Houston in that opening game.
Yeah,
and they definitely didn't defend. They wasn't a defensive team when he was in Houston, and this Nets team wasn't defending the other night.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if the Nets aren't actively shopping Kyrie for pieces right now, especially something to help them with a defender, bringing in a defender to come help with this defense, whether it's Ben Simmons or whoever you're going to go get, you need to be making those provisions now. Because it's obvious what you need. You can score with anybody, but you got to be able to stop a few people. Yeah. Which brings us to the next game, two defensive stalwarts in Golden State, who was fifth in defensive efficiency last year, and the Lakers, who were number one. The Lakers look like they got some work to do.
Yeah, they do.
Because they're LeBron and Anthony Davis or bust. And until they find out, which Russell Westbrook, he'll play better. But when you have 34 and 33 from your superstars, respectively, and only get 8 from your next leading scorer, that's not going to win you many games. So the bench has to step up, continue to play defense. Their defense was lax, but Frank Vogel is a defensive tactician, so I have no issues. I think he's great at tinkering the lineup too. I will say that.
Yeah.
Or not only does he good defensively, but he knows what buttons to push and what lineups to play at certain times. Man, I noticed he's very, very good at that as well. And Golden State as well, without Klay Thompson, looked very good. Even though Steph Curry didn't play a great game, but he had a triple-double. But defensively, they look really good. I mean, they got length, sticky hands, great ball movement. I mean, Draymond is Draymond, of course. Kevin Looney, Andrew Wiggins, man, those guys look really good, and I'm looking for them to be a top 3 seed, especially once Klay comes back.
Yeah, I agree with you on Golden State. They got depth. They got bigs who can run the floor. They got bigs making jump shots and making them, and they look like they look at least 11 man deep, which is good, great. And on the Lakers, they gotta come to a reality, man. Do you want Westbrook to be a facilitator, or do you want to play off the ball?
Yeah,
and you can't have, in my opinion, I don't think Rondo and Westbrook on the floor together. I don't think that works.
It's redundant.
So somebody got to be on the second team that plays a lot, which I think Rondo. When you put Rondo on second team, then they clashing. So they got to get that worked out. Rondo, I don't know. I mean, I think Westbrook is better as a facilitator, but I don't know, does that work for this Laker team? Because they're not going to push the pace. They're not going to go 90 feet the whole game. Plus, when LeBron likes to be a facilitator also, so it's like you can't have 3 facilitators on the same team. And if you do have 3 facilitators, then you can't put them in the same unit. So I think those are the issues they got. And then you got Carmelo. I think Carmelo works better coming off the bench, which I think he did come off the bench in that game. But you got to mix your second unit, has to have a little more mix to it than what they showed in that game. And you got to if you brought Westbrook in to be Westbrook, then you got to allow him to be Westbrook. If you're not going to allow him to be Westbrook, then he needs to go to the Clippers or somewhere. Because that's not going to work. And he's scoring 8 points a game and not getting a whole lot of assists and rebounds and just not being Westbrook. If he going to be confined Westbrook, then that marriage is not going to work.
No, it's not.
So.
I agree with everything you just said. It's going to be interesting to see when Taylor Horton-Tucker and Trevor Ariza comes back too.
Yeah.
I think Trevor Ariza is going to miss 8 weeks. Taylor is going to miss 3 to 4 weeks when they come back, because I think Taylor, they say, was getting ready to take another step in his maturation process and getting better. We know what Trevor Ariza is. Trevor Ariza is, he's a steady veteran who's going to give you consistent play. And I think he's in the starting lineup, if I'm not mistaken, once he comes back.
Yeah.
And Vogel, once they're fully healthy too, Vogel's going to have fun tinkering with that lineup. But you're right though. Anthony Davis needs to continue to be exactly what he was the other night.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to be. Attack mode. When he's in attack mode, there's few people that can stand in front of him and even contend with him. Yep. So be in attack mode. LeBron, being LeBron, he was in attack mode as well. But Westbrook has to be there too. I want Westbrook to attack as well. He was too passive.
Yeah.
Too passive.
And they got to space the floor out. I thought the floor was too crowded. You gotta give him room to maneuver. And, I think this Laker team for the regular season, not talking about playoffs, I think Vogel gonna have to come up maybe with with like three groups, three waves of players. Then you can take the wear and tear off your starters like LeBron, where you don't have to pay them
Yep.
40 minutes a game, and put those guys in each like a wave. The starters, obviously the second team unit, and that third team unit, and just use them like that. Just intermittently put those three waves of players in, cut down the minutes, get the chemistry going during the regular season. You got talent to win, so it ain't about winning.
Yeah.
It's about chemistry and getting your team together to get
Yep.
what type of chemistry you want that will work and once the playoffs start, because you got a harder push in the playoff. That Golden State team is not going away. So you look at your Western Conference champion is going to come out your division. So it's
Yeah.
going to be between either the Lakers, the Warriors, or the Suns. So you got
Yeah.
your work cut out. So just chop the season down. You don't have to, don't play Carmelo Anthony 40 minutes a game. Put them in that second team wave. They make the run, put the first starters back in. Start of the third quarter, put midway in the third quarter, put the third team in. But you gotta,
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to really mix his rotations up, man. So those guys can help, just like intermittently, just find the chemistry through the second and third units and your starters. Because I don't think Rondo and Westbrook work together. I mean, not
Mm-mm.
effectively.
No, I didn't like what I saw
Yeah,
when they
me
were on the floor together. Yeah. So, and I mean, if we saw that, they saw that. So,
yeah, well, the opponent's going to see it because they're going to attack
mhm.
the facility. I'd rather have, hey, yeah, Westbrook going to stand on the off ball, and then he's not going to penetrate and drive, and basically going to be a spot up shooter. Then if you take the lane away from him, hey, that's more power to the opponent. That's not more power to the Lakers. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a guy that's a facilitator. He gets his points on drives to the basket and attacking the basket. But if you got him sitting out there at the two guard and the lanes are clogged and the floor not spaced, then that's just like playing Andrew Wingard at safety. I mean, we gonna expose that.
Yeah. Yeah. Every single time.
Yep.
Every single time. And we're going to scheme it every single time. So, yeah. So, but them being a veteran team, they'll figure it out. I'm going to be interesting to see. I can see them really starting to click after the All-Star break.
Oh
I
yeah.
think they're going to play their best basketball after the All-Star break, and then them being an older team, I'm pretty sure they want to get a nice cushion so they
Yeah.
don't have to play many of those old guys down the stretch, going into the playoffs. So, but yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting because Phoenix, like you say, Phoenix, Golden State, and the Lakers right now, it's looking like it's the 3-team race right now.
Oh yes.
Um,
Coming out that
um,
division.
I got to see Denver, see how Jamal Murray is. Um,
Well, he
uh,
didn't play last night.
no, he didn't
Still
play
out.
last night. Yeah, so I want to see him with Jokic. I think of course, Utah's going to be good again.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. But I still think the West is top heavy, just like the East. I think it's top heavy because even in the East, you're looking at Milwaukee and you're looking at the Nets. But like now Chicago, you say didn't see Chicago, but you say you like what you saw from
Yeah,
Chicago.
I like that ball movement. I like the chemistry that went on. I mean, Levine, I mean, he looks good. I mean, I think
Yeah,
that they're a team that can score. They got a lot of balance. They got good players coming off the bench, and I don't think Detroit is one of those teams that's going to be, in the East contention. But and
no,
Detroit played them pretty well, but. I like Ball. I like the way Ball played last night, and I just think they got, I just think they got a greater mix of talent. They got the kid from San Antonio. I mean, I like their talent. I like the way that they can score in different ways, and it ain't just a jump shooting team. They can attack the basket. They got good inside play plus perimeter play, and they get back on defense to defend. So
yeah,
they're a team to watch. And believe it or
yeah,
not, I like the Timberwolves, man. The Timberwolves look decent.
Oh, you forgot, man. You forgot to mention Alex Caruso with the Chicago
Yeah.
Bulls, man.
Oh,
Yeah. Caruso can play, man. I like Caruso. I'm mad he's not in LA no
So
more.
why the Lakers got rid of him, man?
I don't
They didn't
know.
think he was resigning or what? It wasn't for him. They wasn't the one in the bubble, man.
Well, I think they had to give him up as far as trade capital.
So wait a minute, they brought in Rondo to get rid of Caruso. Yeah, that's what it
but
like.
no, you know what? No. I don't know. That's I forget that's somebody else. With the Caruso though, I forgot the way they explained it, but if I'm not mistaken, they could have brought him back.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought he wanted to come back.
Yeah, I thought he wanted to come back too. Let's see. So they say the Lakers. He signed a $37 million deal for 4 years. Say clearly the Lakers are not willing to go this high for what it's worth. LA signed. Okay, so they signed Horton Tucker instead to a $32 million deal. So I guess they chose between the two.
He got 37 million.
Yeah, he got 37 mil from Chicago.
Well, that explains it.
That explains a lot. That's pretty much it, man.
That's good money for what, 4 years? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years, $37 million. So yeah. But Timberwolves, you like Timberwolves? I didn't see them. I just know Karl Anthony Towns is supposedly jacked now. I saw pictures of him. He looks really good.
Well, I saw him totally dismantle Houston, and and they were running the floor. They was having fun, and they looked like they look like a young team that was having fun, man. And they got a little talent. I like Reid in the middle. They got like a twin tower in the post.
Okay.
So, but they're young, and didn't they have a first round pick?
Oh yeah, Edwards, Anthony
yeah.
Edwards. Oh yeah, Anthony Edwards. Dude, Anthony Edwards told who did they play?
The last night?
Yeah.
Rockets.
So they played the Rockets. He told the Houston coaches, y'all need to call a timeout because I'm on fire.
Yeah, he was on. I mean, hell, they were beating them by like 35.
Yeah, he said he told the coaches, he dribbling the ball, and he told them, he said, y'all need to call a timeout. I'm on fire.
Man, I tell you what, like I told you, man, them guys look like they could have been up by 60 the way they was scoring on them, man. They was like throwing the ball. I think one time they threw the ball off the backboard, and the center caught it.
Oh man, so they was having real fun then.
Yeah, it was like the Harlem Globetrotters out there. I said, damn, who's this? Yeah. I say, this the Wolves? I mean,
hey, that's when you know you getting beat. When the other team is doing trick plays and just having all type of fun, man. But that's when you know you're getting beat down.
I tell you what, man, if the Rockets didn't have like some starters out, it's gonna be a long season for the Rockets, man. I immediately saw that.
Yeah, the Rockets gonna be bad.
Yeah, unless they had some starters that was injured in camp or something. But boy, they ain't no talent there no more. They done stripped all the talent away, man.
Yeah, they have.
And I watched my Pelicans, man, and they just.
And that's what we're gonna end with. That's going to be our last topic right there. I'm glad you said it. We are going to get into it with these Pelicans. I'm gonna let you go ahead, but
let me go get. Do I got my dope boy? Let me see if I got my dope boy statue in the house.
Right, yeah.
Because that's what Zion look like right now. He look like he look like the Michelin Man.
Yeah, you look like the Pillsbury Doughboy right now. He does.
Yeah, he look like he's sitting there with his black suit, man, and it look like he done doubled in size, man. It don't look like he done picked up a basketball in three months.
Yeah.
They got a problem, man. I don't think to me, just his body language, a little bit that I saw, I don't think he want to be there, to be honest. Because I listened to their when they started training camp and they had their press conference. This was supposed to be an injury that he rehabbing, and he's supposed to have been ready by the season. Maybe even played the final preseason game. And just like it done dragged on and it done dragged on and done dragged on, and he's still out. And they have no timetable when he's coming back. And looking at their team, I like Willie Green. Willie Green, he's in a tough situation. They're too young. The Pelicans they like a lot of teams in the league in a small market like Sacramento, a couple of other teams. I mean, Memphis is one of them, but Memphis just got the difference between Memphis and Pelicans and Sacramento, they just got a talented young group, But the Pelicans don't know how to win. They got just a mix of players that they're trying to bring in, and they thinking like Brandon Ingram and Zion can be that missing piece for a young team that they can direct. But you got Brandon Ingram,
Josh Hart.
Yep, Josh Hart, and you got those guys. They the leaders, and when you talking about second, third year players being the leaders, that's not gonna cut it, man. No. Especially not with a first year head coach.
No, and it begs the question: what's the plan? What are we doing? How are we building? Because letting Lonzo Ball walk out of the door, even though he got $85 million in Chicago, but you let Lonzo walk out the door, and who's replacing him?
Yeah, well, that's the issue right there. They don't have. I mean, they just got a bunch of young kids playing point guard. And I think that's the whole problem with David Griffin as the GM. I don't think he came in with a plan. In fact, if it was gonna be like where it is right now, then they just should have just kept the way that that they were going. You gotta have a plan. You gotta have, the most important of all, you gotta have talent that blends with Zion. Zion is your long-term future. And it's just like building a football team. You got to put talent around Trevor Lawrence that fits and that fits his talent.
Yep.
I don't know if they have talent that fits with what Zion want to do, man. You need some wing scores. You got to have, it ain't so much about pushing the pace. It's you got to have talent that complements what he does, which is an inside game. So if he's the inside guy, you got to have like outside shooters. And I say this about the Pelicans and Orlando. Orlando, to me, don't have a plan. They just got a bunch of young guys out there playing ball. I looked at that game.
Orlando.
Well, I looked at the game. They were down by 30. Opening night in San Antonio. San Antonio don't have no more players.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's in San Antonio?
Nobody.
Because Aldridge gone, man.
Aldridge played with the Nets, and then what's the guard? The guard gone. He played with Chicago now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Say, come on, man. The Magic down. It's 30. It's like second quarter. They're down by 18. Woo, I say, man, I know why people from Jacksonville don't go drive to Atlanta to see that, man. Good Lord. They come on, man. You in Florida, man. You in the Magic Kingdom. You gotta get some players we know. We don't know nobody to play for them. But the kid from Florida State. Yeah, he's been hurt. And he's been hurt for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
But, I'm hard on him. I say, come on, man. I like NBA basketball, but I'm not driving no 2.5 hours to go see a team that look like the doggone the pro league team.
Yeah. They look like the the Giants. Look like the Jacksonville Giants.
I think the Giants might could take them.
The Giants could take them.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to the Jacksonville Giants because they're the best in their division and they're in their league.
Man, the way the Magic play, they need to go play at Oak Ridge High School, not that big old pretty arena downtown. Man, they got to go play at a high school. Shit,
man. Should move them to Oviedo. That's right outside Orlando where Blake Bortles from.
Man, don't say that town. I know about Oviedo.
yeah. Move them to Oviedo, not Orlando. Get them out of Orlando.
I still get hate mail from that town. That's Blake Town.
That's Blake Town. I know. Oh yeah, that's Blake Town. Yeah. Oh yeah. But Orlando. I don't know what the plan is there.
They ain't got one, Brandon. That's it. They ain't had one in 4 years. They don't have a plan. They just draft, and that's it. And the guy that they have, I mean, to be honest, when the last time since Howard was there, that's the last time they won.
Yeah. Now they went to the playoffs 2 years ago.
Well, 8th seed.
Yeah, it's an 8th seed, but 2 years ago, and I mean it's been downhill ever since. I thought that was the start of them, probably going on a little run, but they've been terrible ever since they went to the playoffs.
Who traded 3 best players in the same season? I was watching the Knicks last night. The guy from the Magic, I mean, he's like their top perimeter shooter.
Oh yeah,
Fournette,
it's a fire sale.
Yeah.
So obviously they rebuilding. So let's call it that then. You get rid of your top 3 players, you got to be rebuilding from the ground up. Yeah, that's the only explanation.
The only problem is they've been rebuilding for 20 years.
This is true. This is true too. This is true. Yeah.
They gotta follow the same blueprint of the other Florida team down on 95, and they call a Heat. They don't have a 20-year rebuilding, and then they lost Wade. So come on, man. You want my money? You got to put some better players out there in the D League.
Yeah, you do.
Crying about the Jaguars in Orlando. I say, Lord have mercy. You talking about the Jaguars? You guys got the worst NBA team in the East, man.
Worse. Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand, man. The reporters from Orlando are annoying. They're so annoying. Yeah. Why they talk about Jacksonville so bad? And I'm like, yo, why y'all just worry about the Orlando Magic, man?
Yeah, well, the problem is they felt they should have got the Jaguars from the start. That's the problem right there. I done heard.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they felt that they were in line and they should have got that football team. And then you look at what they've invested into to that basketball team. Shoot, man, you can't play in a pretty arena like that, and don't have the players to pack it. I mean, they draw pretty well though, but I mean,
they do.
Ain't nobody to watch.
No, there's nobody box office on that roster.
I mean, basically those people coming to see the visitors. But yeah, I don't know what is it a concept? So Orlando don't like Jacksonville, or what is that?
I don't know. I don't know. The only beef that's the only beef I seen is when reporters would talk about the Jaguars.
Well, Bianchi, that's all he talks about.
Yeah. That's all he talks about. That's all he talks about.
He's already done fired Urban Meyer like a month ago.
Yeah, he did. Him and Lock and Four, they both fired Urban a long time ago.
No, don't talk about Lock and Four. That's the 10-10 XL man, there, boo.
Man, dude, I will say this too. I was Sunday watching the Jaguars game with my homeboy Chris, and I was telling him, I said, you know what? The more I listen to former players talk sports, the less I want to hear from them.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's getting worse. Before they were very hit and miss. Now it's very rare you get one of them who are very, very good. Like Nate Burleson is very, very good at what he does. Yeah. But he's one of very few. I mean, those guys, you got guys like Keyshawn is a microcosm of athletes being broadcasters now. Because that was a ridiculous take. You talking about absolutely ridiculous takes. They're biased when it comes to the teams they used to play for or cheer for as kids. And then they hate on younger players. It's at this point, it's not criticism no more. A lot of that, they just straight up hating. And I don't want to hear it anymore.
But it's just tough for me when you see guys, and Keyshawn was one of them. Keyshawn was never like a media-friendly guy when he played,
Right. They called him immature. Yeah.
It's tough for a guy to go into the business, and then you talking about being media savvy. And when he was a player, asked for an interview, he would tell reporters, "Hell no."
Right.
And then just as the thing, I one problem I have here in Jacksonville, I want former players to give me the answer. I don't want to hear the team talk. That's the biggest problem I have here. You don't get if what's wrong is wrong. I want to hear it. If the play didn't work, I don't want to hear excuse. I want to hear why it didn't work, why it shouldn't have been ran, and what made them make a dumb call like that. I don't want to hear like excuses, like, and I don't want to hear about the line playing well when they didn't play well. It might have been one play out of 15, and you praise a guy. Let's be real. Jawan has had a hard season. I don't want to hear that he's trying or he's playing okay, and if he's getting beat and getting pressure on the quarterback like he did against the Bengals, then I want somebody, whether it's a former Jaguar player or whoever, to tell the truth to the fans, man. Don't, if you're getting a paycheck from the Jaguars, then you shouldn't be on the radio. But if you're going to be opinionated and you're going to come on the radio and give your opinion, then you got to be impartial. You got to tell the truth, man. That's my biggest issue here in Jacksonville. I mean, hey, your time with the Jaguars was your time, and you're not going to change what you did for the franchise. But if you're not going to, we're going to hear the same thing every week. Like everything is they okay, and there's no problem. When we know there's a problem, then what's the point? I had to get that out, man.
Oh no! You good? No, but that's that, and that's your gripe. So, players giving you coach speak, and me just listening to former players talk, man. Just like they're featured on so many things, and that's one thing that discouraged me as a youth wanting to go into sports broadcasting. I was like, well, if it comes down to me and the guy who's fresh off the field, they're going to pick that guy because he played. But after listening to them talk over the years, them and whether you got a few, they get in trouble from time to time still, even as broadcasters, and have stuff happen and they get put off of shows and off of networks still. But just listening to them, man, they overall the product is mediocre. It's mediocre at best. Now you got your few. You got Tony Romo is very, very good. I love listening to Tony Romo on Sundays. Like I said, Nate Burleson is very good. Aqib Talib is good too. I like listening to Aqib Talib. I think he's very good. RG3 looked like he's going to be good too. I like RG3. It's a few of them, but overall, man, no. And especially when they get to the hating. Hating is more basketball though. I don't hear NFL greats, NFL players really go at the young guys or really hate on them. They'll have their spats like DK Metcalf and Shannon Sharp got into it. Lisa Reed, please stop to my B. You a closet Cowboy fan. No, you know what? I can never be a Cowboy fan because Michael Irvin is on TV and he be terrible too.
Yeah, Michael. I heard Michael all the way from the studio booth in Cincinnati all the way up in the press box.
He's that loud. Ridiculous.
Yeah. And he wasn't all media friendly either. Particularly when he was at the University of Miami.
Oh,
he didn't do interviews there. But that's the problem I have. If you didn't like the media as a player, then you shouldn't be in the profession after you play. That's my opinion.
Right.
Many times, no comment. No comment. No, did you see we lost? No comment. And then the media guys, I don't get it.
But I think a lot of them, some of them, they become media to kind of to basically give out an olive branch and bridge the gap between them and the media. And I noticed players who the media clearly had issues with or dislike, they become beloved once they join the media. Like Randy Moss. Randy Moss was not liked by the media at all.
No,
But because of his time as a broadcaster, he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah. And for them to do T.O. the way they did him, if T.O. had went into it, who knows what would have happened. But it's clear Randy Moss became a broadcaster. That's why he got in the way he did. Because Jerry Rice was like the only first ballot wide receiver. And dude, it's been forever. It hadn't been one since Jerry, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then they didn't put T.O. in when they were supposed to. And then you put Randy in. And even though Randy's great now, Randy's great. Got it. Randy's great. I got it. But come on now, you did that because he was a part of the media.
But you know another thing, Brandon, I think there's too many ex-players on TV.
I think so too.
I think if you look back in the past, in the 80s, 90s a little bit, most of those guys didn't go from retired to CBS and NBC and stuff.
Yeah.
But you got
Yeah.
Fox Sports, you got all these sports channels.
Yeah,
And I
T.O.'s
see-
decent, Ness.
Hmm?
Yeah, go ahead. No,
And
he said T.O. got a podcast. I was telling him T.O. is pretty decent. The first few times I've seen him on TV.
Well, podcasts are better than going on national television
Yeah, they are.
and going on the NFL morning show and and you making a valid opinion. I don't know. I just think I will say this: the NFL probably have the best marketing team in the world because they do a super job promoting their game. They give all the scoops to themselves. And that NFL network is just a marketing box. And they do it right. They do it better than the NBA in a lot of aspects, even though the NBA have more accessibility and different things like that. But you can't argue like the game in London. I mean, it's like, they go over there on the soccer field, have practice, have press conferences. It's 8-9 players from the Jaguars in front of the cameras. They were in the cameras more in London than they are in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And you look at the stands, it works. The stadium was sold out, 68,000 in a pandemic in London. So whatever they're doing is working. You can't knock what's working. Whatever they're doing as far as marketing. And have you seen anything about the ratings? Because I'm assuming that these games are being watched.
No, I haven't seen anything about the ratings. I would love to know what the ratings look like because they had dipped, I know, last year.
Yeah.
And people were worried about that. But I think part of that is illegal streaming because I myself illegally stream myself. Those don't count again for the ratings. So there's no way to count those people who watch that way. That's why they don't want you to do it, of course. But I would love to see what the ratings are for sure.
Yeah, well, all the stadiums are full, man.
They're like you said, they're a marketing machine, and I would argue that the quality of their product has gotten better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's a more exciting game. It's an offense, these scoring games. And just like you say, I thought one of the better games I've seen in a couple of years was the Titans game. The Titans, the goal line stands against Buffalo. Yeah, I mean the whole game. They had 7 lead changes. I mean it was cut close to the wire. Even the Jaguar game was good, man. I mean you got a 1-4 team against a 2 1-4 teams. I mean 0-5 and 1-4. And
majority of the games played this season have been competitive games in the NFL. Overwhelming majority. You've had a few blowouts, but majority it's been competitive games.
Yeah. I mean, even the Cardinals got taken to the test.
Yeah. Let's see, Nisco. I guess I'm a little different. I like former players on TV talking about football. Some of these analysts have never even laced up a pair of cleats. Yeah, and that's true. That's true. You got some of them, but those guys' talents lie elsewhere, and it ain't in the studio. It's on the field, Ness. All those guys aren't good.
And I don't want to hear a guy reliving 1996 and recalling the play, and it's like, come on, man, who remember that play? Who cares?
Who cares, man?
That's the whole part about sports, man. The sports is to remember and to be forgotten. It's like, man, I hate hearing that in the NBA. Yeah, in the NBA, they even do the whole day, like all the former players be the announcers, and then they start reminiscing. Man, it happened on the TNT show all the time. Shaq, you remember that play? You remember that play?
And they show it in black and white.
I say, come on, man. This is not where you go down yesteryear, reminisce at the reunion, and talk about how great you are. We know you're great. Yeah, we don't want to hear it every week. We know Charles didn't win a ring.
Yeah.
You ain't got to remind us every Thursday night.
Now, this is not so bad when they talking college sports because, yeah, I want you to have pride from the school you came from. I have no problem with that. When you got, Reggie Bush talking trash to Vince Young for a Texas USC game, like, okay, I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. But when it comes to the NFL and NBA, no, man.
All these guys are reminiscing. Hey, Charles, tell us. And then we got Kenny telling us about his championship team with the Rockets. I like, shit, we don't even remember you, man.
Yeah.
We remember Hakeem and we remember guys. We don't even remember you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Just listening to them, man, I just like, but hey, it is what it is, man. But I remember what I was saying. Former players, like especially in the NBA, those guys be hating. Shaq says a lot of things to the former players, and Charles says a lot too. And I just like, this sounds like hate. It sounds like you upset that they making $200 million. Oh, that's what it sounds like to me.
Well, they are. You know they are, and they want to get their respect. They say they paved the road, paved the way for them and all that. So yeah, it's animosity.
Yeah, you did. So what?
Yeah, but it's a new day, a different, it's a different time, man.
Yeah.
The sport is still entertaining enough to attract that amount of attention, to get the amount of TV time. And it is what it is. But yeah, let's go back there, man. Dude around there, man. I was like, man, I said that the other night. I said, well, damn, I don't remember Kenny Smith being a great player. I remember him at North Carolina. Before my time. I remember at North Carolina, and I remember, like coming in. I remember more at Sacramento than I did it with the Rockets. But to be honest, Vernon Maxwell was a hell of a better player than Kenny. But it ain't been that long ago, Brandon. Now, come on now.
Well, that's a little for my time, man. That's like
your time. This is like 90s.
Hold on. I was had to be like 6 years old around that time, man. So I don't really remember, man.
Man, you were 6 years old when the Juice was in the Bronco.
Yeah.
It happened on
because that was 90. When did they win? When did the Rockets win? That was 94, 95?
94 and 95. All I remember is watching the game and they switched to the Bronco.
Oh, here go Lisa Reid.
Yeah, you're 6 years old. God, boy, I'm old as hell.
Oh, man. Terrible. Yeah.
Well, that's what happened, man. Back in 94. It went from the NBA to the Broncos chasing around LA and Juice was in there.
Yeah. I seen little thing them talking about it. Yeah. That's a lot of people still remember that day.
You didn't remember. You still holding the bottle.
Yeah. I don't remember nothing about none of that time, man. I don't remember none of that. Only thing I do remember is the tail end of the Bulls' run. I do remember that, though. I do remember Jordan in the tail end of his run, his last three.
With the Wizards or with the Bulls?
Nah, would I not know that Wizards? Say the rim juice. Oh, he got a typo. But no. I remember that Jordan, but no, I saw him in the Bulls uniform as well.
I remember him. I was drinking jungle juice back then, man.
Oh man, yeah. So, DK Metcalf, that's who it was. Got into it with Shannon Sharp. Did you see that?
Nah, I ain't see it.
He called out DK because DK didn't get out of bounds on a play when they were who did the Seahawks play? I forgot who they played. I ain't got my phone with me. But he didn't get out of bounds on a play, and Shannon Sharp pretty much tweeted about it and called him out, saying that he needed to get out of bounds. And DK went back at him, talking about He say, I remember Orenthal the Juice Simpson.
Oh, yeah, the juice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the juice.
I remember that. We were watching Patrick Ewing, and then we went to the juice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see their Let me see their interaction in full.
Because Seattle lost.
Yeah,
They played the
did.
Rams. Didn't they play the Rams?
Yeah, they did.
The Rams. Yeah.
Let's see. Another question. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got one of them. I'm trying to see what was Shannon Sharp's initial.
Man, I got.
Here we go.
Shannon Sharp.
I found it. This is interesting. We're gonna share that. He should have. Hey, Ness said he should have got out of bounds. Yeah, he should have got out of bounds, Ness. I'll show y'all what Shannon Sharp said. This was a nice little back and forth. But he got to know. Talking crazy to Shannon Sharp doesn't end well. Let's see. He said, "What was DK thinking? Why try to play hero ball in that situation?" And so DK Metcalf said, "Stop questioning me, little boy." To Shannon Sharp.
He called Shannon Sharp a little boy.
He called Shannon Sharp a little boy. That's what he said. Stop questioning me. And Shannon said, "Nothing to question. That was a dumbass play, and your pride won't let you admit it. You can't question anything I've done. Pray your resume will be as complete as mine. Pray. Enjoy the rest of your day." I said, "Oh,
Twitter war."
Hey, and so after he said that, DK said, "From the looks of it, I could wipe my ass with yours. What? Yeah. Continue to gossip, you washed up wannabe." Yeah. See, and this is what DK. This is what DK goes off the rails, and where Ness say, wow. Yeah, Ness, this is where DK goes off the rails. I mean, DK's a great talent. He's a man. He's a monster. Man child. This dude is just like ridiculous. But he has an attitude issue. I watch it when they play. Why is it always him that get mixed up in scrapes during the game? It's always him. Tyler Lockett doesn't get caught up in scrapes. Russell Wilson doesn't get caught up in scrapes. The linemen barely do. None of the running backs, none of the tight ends, none of the other receivers. Dude, Jamal Adams be hitting people in the head, and he don't even get caught up and stuff. Bobby Wagner knocked the spit out of people, and he don't be fighting people. DK Metcalf always seemed to get in the shoving matches, yelling matches. Like it seemed like every time I watch them play, DK Metcalf is being a hothead. And this shows it. That showed it right there. Him being a hothead. He got to get control of that, because when he become a hothead, they get him out of his game. I noticed that. Jalen Ramsey and them, especially the ones who talk trash to him, he get out of his game when he start going back and forth with him. You need to just, be quiet and play ball, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I can't say nothing about it. I mean, yep, that's what happens when you volatile and you can't control your emotions. Everybody in the league know it. Yeah. And that just, going back with, I mean, come on, man. Shannon Sharp wasn't a scrub, man.
Yeah, he wasn't. 3-time Super Bowl champion, dog. Hall of Famer. Revolutionized the position. One of the best tight ends to ever do it. Come on.
Man, it's gonna be a nationwide debate between the old school players and the new school talent.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, because old school, what their argument is that y'all not tough enough today. You're not. And they will have a valid point about that. Y'all not tough enough. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive today. You're too much in your feelings. Yeah, you're bigger, you're stronger, and you're faster. But up here, you wouldn't be able to last, because up here, you will.
But some older players, they resent the fact that they don't have real training camp no more either. Everything is restricted. You don't really they got way more money, but they don't have to be in. Man, I hear players still talk about that. Two-a-day. These guys don't know what 2 days are.
No, they don't.
Yeah, we had tour days in high school. They be talking about that. These pro guys, hell, they, they don't even have to be at the facility all day.
No, they don't.
So
Yeah, so it's a different time, man. But all these former players, yeah, I want to see some new blood. That's why ESPN going downhill right now. You get some new
yeah,
blood on that.
but like I told you, I think last week, man, I watched the Super Bowl between the Cowboys and the Steelers. I think that was like 76. And if both those teams played today,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't make it past. I don't. Dallas may not even made it to the playoffs. Pittsburgh might not have. That I don't think that Pittsburgh team would have got past the first round of the playoffs playing these teams now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
they did was run the defensive front for the Steelers. They were tall, like LC Greenwood was tall, like 6'8", but he
Mm-hmm.
only wore like 236 or something like that. So he's going up against a left tackle at 6'8", 345. Hell, he would have been neutralized, you know?
Could you imagine, like the Cowboys, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, imagine them playing the Rams present day and what Aaron Donald would do to them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But I
It
will
won't
say
be
this
pretty.
though, the Staubach back then, because I heard the announcer say it, Staubach and the Cowboys were like the first team in the 70s to play a shotgun. And the guy
Mm-hmm.
said it. He said, like, what? It was like a shock. Like, well, he's not behind the center. You know, he's getting the ball hiked to him 5 yards back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a difference, man. I'm an old school guy. You know, even when you growing up as a kid, you can only see what's in front of you. You can't see what the future. But
Yeah.
I watched that Super Bowl. I say, man, ain't no way in the world either one of these teams to play. They live at 6'2", 236, and I say, man, if Donald was playing against the Dallas offensive line, he'd have 10 sacks.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
And then
And
they had,
see these. Oh, you see these youngsters think they're greatest. They're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Don't have any credentials to back up the chatter. Simple minded. Yeah,
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 yeah. But that's the difference too between the old school players and the young school guys. The older players back in the day had temperament. They could use their mind when they didn't have physical talent, you know.
mm-hmm.
And these guys today, man, it's like, you know, they talk a lot of trash though.
They do
But
talk a ton of trash.
but that's the thing, man. The physical strength of athletes have like gone from night to day. It's not
Yeah,
even no comparison, man.
yeah. You got wide receivers that can lift what the linemen lift back in the day.
Yeah, and then you look at the receivers back then, like they had Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson looked like he wore like 180 pounds. If he wore that, I don't even think he looked like 170.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably talking about I would think 4.5, 4.6 speed. I
Yeah,
mean, basically he would have been an average player. Like Lynn Swan was a great player, but I don't know if Lynn Swan could have make a catch like he made in that Super Bowl against a strong safety, a safety of this era. You know,
yeah.
he wouldn't have got that type of separation.
No, imagine, dude. Any of those receivers going up against Jalen Ramsey. You got
Yeah,
no space.
yeah,
No. Yeah, he's
and
in
then
your hip pocket.
yeah, and they're like, well, Jack Lambert looked big back then, but he would have been average size, man.
Yeah. Shoot, you gonna struggle. Most of them receivers struggle getting off the line against Jalen Ramsey, man. Come on,
Yeah,
you gonna jam them
uh,
up. The play will be over by the time dude get to 15 yards.
yeah. But that's what I saw, man. It's just like there's just the physical difference in the players, man. You know, they used to talk about the Steelers, you know, it was called the steel curtain. It was like the white, and LC Greenwood and those guys, man. And then Mean
Mm-hmm.
Green, well, Joe Green wore like, I think he might have been like 275, about 6'2", 6'3". So he would have been big enough, but man, he would have been going up against centers bigger than him almost every game if he was in this era.
Yeah. Now it's a few of those guys translate to this era.
Yeah. Oh
Lawrence,
yeah. Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor still dominates today.
Oh yeah. Ain't no
Coming off the edge, especially how
Yeah.
much they throw the football today. Yeah. Yeah. He have a couple
I,
20-sack
I'm
seasons.
almost want to say he would have been even more dominant to this group.
Yeah. Reggie White dominates anytime. Anytime you can think of, Reggie White dominates.
But nobody could block him.
No.
And then you got new rules now. You didn't have those rules like you got. You didn't have those rules like you have now. Holding is called a lot more now than it was back then. But man, he would have been dominating. I mean, they say like Deacon Jones. I read something about Deacon Jones was a guy that was fast. He was faster than running backs.
Yeah, he was.
I think they said I saw a story the other day that looked at rookie quarterbacks playing their first game, and they talked to Archie Manning. Archie Manning, I think, played Deacon Jones and them in the Rams in his first game. And he said, yeah, I thought I was fast at Ole Miss, and I tried to run around the end, and Deacon, Deacon like ran me down.
Yeah.
Man, can you imagine?
Yeah. Deacon Jones will definitely dominate today. Yeah, we're talking about a guy who was big, tall, and fast, man.
Yeah, and fast. Yeah, he could outrun running back. I say, damn.
Yeah. Shoot, Herschel Walker definitely can play today.
Yeah, I have all the respect. I have all the respect, man. I actually saw Herschel Walker first game on TV. He played Tennessee, and he was a rookie. That was a freshman, and he hit the safety. I think it was Charlie Waters, I believe, was with Tennessee. He was a senior. And man, he ran through. He ain't even get in the game till like the second. I think it was almost at halftime. They didn't know who the hell he was. And he said, man, they came in there. That dude, man, he scored like 3 touchdowns over the final 3 quarters. First game he ever played at Georgia. And they came from behind to beat Tennessee. He was running over guys. And I think Charlie Waters was like the senior safety. And he ran, man. He was the last line before the touchdown, and he just ran his butt over. Man, Herschel was a beast in college, man.
Yeah,
I can remember back when I think it was his second year at Georgia, and it was the Florida-Georgia game, and Georgia beat Florida. Like, man, it was like 40. I think it was like 45. It was like 45-7, 45-14. Man, he had 260 yards or something, man. All scored touchdowns by him at the Gator Bowl.
Yeah. It's a few guys that can play. The NBA players had this debate way more than NFL players because NFL players understand. Your talent may be great, but dude, if you ain't got enough bricks in your back pocket. Taven Bryan would dominate because he's 315 pounds, simply because of his weight. That's just what it is. Maybe Taven missed his era. That's what it is. He missed his era.
Well, maybe he should have been back in that era, back in the 70s, where you can bull rush and that's it. And maybe if the guy run on your backside, you can stick your foot out and trip him. I say this again, that guy been the biggest disappointment in Jacksonville Jaguar history, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say no more about him, but man, come on, man. You could have had Lamar Jackson instead of this.
And it's unfortunate that Lamar went after him. If Lamar goes before him, it's not that big a deal, like Alualu.
Yeah.
But now that you got Lamar Jackson, it's man. He's talking about because he sucks in this era.
Yeah, he sucks.
He does.
Era. Hell, he even sucked when he was at Florida era. They had guys who cover Florida told Dave Carver, don't draft the guy, man. He vanishes in games, man. Don't draft him. They still drafting. We're gonna make him into a player. We're gonna make him into something he wasn't at Florida. Okay, well, we still waiting on it.
Right.
I mean, you gotta call a spade as a spade, man. Then that's a spade, man. You can't if he can't in football is this. If you can't be instinctive in Pop Warner, if you can't be instinctive in junior high, high school or college, do you think you're gonna be an instinctive player in the pros? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
I could go right out there on Saturday and go watch Forest View play North Jacks, and I can look 10 minutes into the first game on the Pee-wees, and I can tell you who's a good player without me knowing anything about their stats or anything.
Yep. Yeah. The eye test.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The eye test will tell you just about everything. A lot of things you need to know.
Yeah.
You look at like Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn obviously has not watched Jaguars games like that.
Yeah.
Because if he watched other rookie quarterbacks and watched Trevor Lawrence, the eye test, man. Don't look at the stats. Just look at him throw the football. You're right. It's the eye test, man. You can tell who's talented and who's not just by looking at him. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have guys who jump off the screen. And like you say, being instinctive. And that's putting in work too. Because even with you being instinctive, if you put in the work and you do it over a long period of time, muscle memory kicks in from time to time. Yeah, where your body moves and puts you in positions where you don't even really have to think about it. You already know, okay, this is what I got to do. And the body automatically starts to do it. It's just muscle memory, man.
Hey, the perfect example of that, what you just said, is that Buffalo Titans game. When he shot the gap, he shot enough over there where he knocked the tackle out off of him, and he bounced off of him, and he got Josh Allen right there. That's instinctive because Josh didn't run at him. Basically, he leveraged his weight to get over in that fill that gap. That's what means to be an instinctive player. You got to be instinctive on the defensive front. You got to know when to wedge off the block to fill the hole. And if you just stay stationary, like you stay stationary and then you just stand there with the block and don't move side, if you don't have no leverage to move side to side, you're not gonna tackle. No, he's not gonna run over you. No, but that's the problem that you can't. That's God gift talent. That's instinctive. That's not something where you can watch the film 100 hours a day and it's not gonna change what you gotta sometimes sense where he's gonna go at, because he's not gonna go over you, so he's gonna try to wedge in that gap, and that's what he did. And he was blocked, but he was able to fill that gap. That's
I'm sure the average fan would be shocked if players admitted how much they gambled.
What do you mean, gamble? What do you mean? You about gamble?
Oh, no, I'm saying. Yeah. Man, take chances.
You have
take
to.
Risks.
Yeah. Well, Donald do it all the time with the Rams. Yeah, hell, he don't know if he gambles. He pursue a gap and he gets through.
Yeah.
But those guys that do gamble and they got that much leverage where they can get penetration to come in. I mean, those are the guys that's all stars. The ones that can't get around. Or can't get off a block. The secret about getting off a block is not going through the guy. The secret of getting off a block is being able to go right or left. You controlling what side you go, because if you can go from the side, then you can. If he's not going to run over you, just like in that goal line play. So you got to have leverage to go either right or left to make that play, and that's what Taylor can't do. He just goes through the guy. And going through the guy is not stopping the gap. It's like shit. I mean, running back the running back is gonna find a hole. He ain't gonna run in a area where it's all clogged up. He's gonna find a space and try to get through it. And if you don't have the leverage to get over in time to stop him from getting in that crease, then you got no value. Man, football is a simple game, man.
Hey, at the end of the day,
simple game, man.
A game of inches and blocking and tackling. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's blocking and tackling. If you don't block and if you don't tackle, you're gonna lose the majority of your games.
That's like
That's
you
just
go to
what it
practice
is.
every day and use the karaoke. You do karaoke every day, then you wonder why. Well, what the hell am I doing the karaoke for? And then you understand, like, well, you got to use your footwork. Your footwork is what gets you around. If you're a running back, you got to use your feet. You don't
Yep.
have quick feet, you ain't gonna beat nobody. It ain't about speed, it's about your feet and your quickness.
Yep. That's why they be on them ladder drills so hard.
Yeah, those ladder drills.
Pull the
Man.
ladder out. Let's go.
I saw they showed on the Titans game all the work that Derrick Henry does in the off season.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and he was doing that. He was chopping them steps going up the hill.
Putting in that work, man. Looking at some of his stuff. His workouts and Alvin Kamara, they got some of the craziest looking workouts, especially Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
To one of his ones with balance. I watch him and Derek what they do for balance. Kamara, he gets a bar, puts it over his shoulder, put weights that on the rubber bands on the end of it, and he just walks and goes back and forth trying to keep his balance with the weights. And Derek puts one foot on the ball, on a ball, and balances, and people come try to knock him off, and he pushes off of him while he's on the ball. Man, I was like, man, that's
I seen that. And then he do like those pull-ups, and he got the chain on his neck. Like he's on the weight bench, and he's doing the dips, and the chain is on his neck, like the junkyard dog, man.
Yeah, man. That's putting in that work, man. Putting in that work, which all of them don't do.
No, you're right. Well, back in the day, Walter Payton used to have a heel, and I think Eric Dickinson, I want to try that with you. And Eric went on that heel with Walter one time and was throwing up, man.
Jerry Rice, same. Everybody who talks about training with Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Well, Walter Payton started the heel. He was the first to train with a heel.
Yeah. I've never heard Jerry marvel about another player the way he marvels about Terrell Owens. You listen to him talk about T.O., and you can just hear it in his voice and just see it in his eyes. Like he really, really did. He thinks T.O. is one of the best players he's ever seen.
Yeah. Jerry Rice?
Yeah.
Shit, T.O. was good, man, when he was with the 49ers.
Yeah, he was great.
Target, speed, and then they had Jerry and him.
Yep. But those are the hard-working guys. T.O. was another one, man. Hard-working guys, man. You got to put in the work, man.
Even Chad Johnson was a hard worker, man, when he was in his prime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, before he was headbutting fiancés in Miami.
Yeah, that did his career. He didn't get that dog.
That did his career. Man, that was it. Man, too bad. So sad. But I think we done covered all the bases, man. I think that's it. Let's see. No, we don't win because I think the first one we did was an hour, and this one hour 32. So
all right, man.
Got it in, man. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on all my social media. I will be back. Will I be back this week? I don't know. It's undecided. I don't know. I may be, but we'll see. I know we'll be back next week. Let's see. He say, if your hunger starts when you make it, then you never been hungry. Oh yeah, that's like I shared a quote by who's it? I think they call him the hip hop preacher. I think it's Eric Thomas, if I'm not mistaken. You know who that is?
I think I heard of him.
Yeah, I think it's Eric Thomas, if I'm not mistaken. I seen matter of fact, you know what?
Eric Raheem. Eric Raheem, I mean.
Yeah, let me see.
Man, you don't know nothing about that, though.
Nah, I don't know nothing about that one. Nah, you done got me a few times a day. This stuff before my time. Let's see. Here we go. This was good. This real short, but it was a nice little pep talk by him. Let's see.
One of these chats, man, we're gonna have to have a forum on music, the new music and the old music, and I'm gonna play my old music on your show.
Well, hey, see, you get copyrights on a lot of the music today.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you do. You get copyrights on pretty much all of it, unless I think 3 seconds is the quickest you could play it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you got to get royalties and clear a bunch of stuff. But yeah,
Even
this right here, yeah, Eric Thomas. Yeah, his name Eric Thomas. And like what Ness said about you being hungry. Let's see what he said. Yeah, if your hunger starts when you make it, then you've never been hungry. And like, listen to this.
Say an alligator is so ferocious it'll kill a lion, but I can kill an alligator with my bare hands. Little E.T. How? They say when you want to kill an alligator, you kill it right after it eats, because right after it eats, it gets satisfied, and it goes to a state like it's almost paralyzed. Some of y'all in this room, are you paralyzed? You had a little success. You done what nobody else in your family has done, and now you chilling? Come on, you ain't hungry no more?
Yeah, that right there, that right there. I saw that. My mom, I think my mom sent me that. My mom may have sent me that, but that right there, I say, man, dog, you ain't hungry no more. You done tasted a little success. She said, yes, it is. He's awesome. Yeah, you're not hungry no more. You done taste a little success, and I think that happens to a lot of athletes, man. I think they get up there, they taste that success, or some of them taste Louisiana gumbo. We ain't gonna say his name. Mr. Williamson, and they just go off the rails.
Yeah, I mean that's it, man. You got to start from the bottom, work yourself up, but you got to have it from the heart, man. Because you know we know what they say about the NFL is the not for long league. You got to play like you got to play like you. Yep, you do.
Yep. Yeah, because it could be over at any given moment. And it doesn't have to be anything gruesome or even a collision. Dude, you could be running by yourself and fall and hit the ground and it's over.
Well, just like the rookie lineman in London. He broke his hand on a pre-game drill. And we still kind of, well, what did he do? Well, we don't know. We went through a drill and he broke his hand.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. But man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. Follow Mr. Reid on Twitter, Jacksonville.com, Florida Times-Picayune. We will be back next week with more stories. I mean, the news. I thought the news cycle, what was it, last week? We had a nice news cycle. And the week before that, we had a nice one. And then again this week, man. So just sports, longest running reality series in human history, man. I'm telling y'all. You can't write a better script than sports, man. I'm telling you.
Better hope no more videos come out on the hit.
Oh my God, that's what I'm worried about.
I've been hearing some rumors, brother.
I have too. I've heard that there's a third video.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now it makes me wonder why. Where is it? Why isn't it out yet?
Well, I heard the person who might have the video getting a bunch of phone calls. They better not release that video. So, I don't know. But if a video come out and it's worse than the other two, not gonna be good.
No, it's not gonna be good. But we'll see, man. We will definitely see. But until next time, y'all, we will see y'all next week. We are out of here.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.